Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald, the Second Swing Golf. We're out here at Titleist Performance Institute with Lucas Bro to talk about a new 3-wood offering from Titleist, the GT1 Tour.
Yep.
So this is a new offering. My understanding, Lucas, is it's based on kind of some tour feedback that maybe at a surprising level, the GT1 Fairway Wood found its way in the bag of tour pros. And so can you kind of talk about then how this came about and what is different about this maybe compared to the other GT1s in the family?
So I think one of the things when we ever introduce a new product, we always have a demographic of player in mind. And when we introduce a product, when it's really good, more people like to play it. So GT1 being a more lightweight head option, a higher launching, a higher spinning golf club, you don't really, it doesn't really scream tour to you.
Yeah.
But in reality, those golfers at that level also need different things from one another. And what you're really challenging with this golf club is it's 14.5 degrees aloft. And so you're wanting the loft to be a little bit stronger for the delivery method of the player, but you're getting the benefits of that higher launch and that higher spin without getting too up in the air.
Right.
We've got our 2-weight system where we've got a back weight and a forward weight. And what you can do is you can flip those and you can make that club even lower launching, slightly lower spinning in the forward position. One of its biggest wants from the tour department is really the way it sits on the ground. So what I really like about it is it feels very flat on the bottom of the club and it looks like it's just squished down just a little bit. So when you're thinking about competitive products in the marketplace, this is another look of golf club that gives a player more confidence and maybe it's to get them out of something that they're in or just change the way that they think about this tool to perform on the golf course.
Yeah, it looks like it's, we've seen this type of product out there where it is a larger footprint and maybe it is a little bit, that center of gravity is lower, right? Yeah. But I think with the weighting here and the center of gravity with this club, it could still be a nice low launching, kind of lower spin almost versus, sending that thing away in the sky, which I think is kind of a really good compromise in a sense, or happy medium for a lot of players that are maybe struggling to find the right club for a 3-wood in their bag.
What I'd like to do when we go and hit it, I'd like to hit it at its just standard location in terms of weight, and then let's flip it to the forward and let's see if anything shows up for us. Maybe the forward's great for off the tee, maybe the back is better for off the ground, and you have to decide which combination works best for you on the golf course, and that's really where going and getting the fitting can help you dial in those things. Yeah,
but I'm really intrigued by this thing because I do think this is a really interesting area of sort of the market where players might be curious about where the 3-wood lies, and there's actually there's some trends going on with where 3-woods are in the bag, and maybe some aren't in the bag because there's just not a right fit for a lot of players. This could be an option for a lot of them.
This could be an option. We have a GT280. That's another option to try something that's just even different. So, we see all types of players out here. So having one more tool in the tool belt to fit another player is such a great option.
Yeah, let's do some testing.
Okay, awesome. Let's hit some shots.
This is a good shaft to pick. This is the shaft to have my driver, so.
Great.
All right, yeah, first impression just by how it looks, definitely a large footprint, much bigger than what I'm used to out of my 3-wood.
Sure.
But I actually like how it sits.
I think it frames the golf ball nicely.
Yeah, I think it does.
Good ball speed. I think one of the bigger challenges for you is you're so good at covering the ball that we may have to adjust the loft just to touch up with that. But let's hit a couple more. Or not.
Yeah, that was smoked.
Great shot.
Wow.
So 164 ball speed, 9 launch, 3,700 spin rate. I always say 10.5 launch, 3,500 is the gold standard for a 3-wood.
We're getting close.
So we're going to drop, we're going to raise spin just a little bit. I mean, that's 260 carry, 281 total. And remember, your Goldilocks zone was 100 feet of peak height. Yep. It was 102. How often are you finding yourself hitting 3-wood off the deck?
Very few times.
Let's hit off the tee then.
Okay.
I would encourage you to just give yourself just a touch more tee height.
Okay.
One thing I've liked about this club is it has a little bit different sound to it.
It does.
But it's got a really nice, solid sound to it.
It's just a thud. And you can get, there are some manufacturers out there that you can get, that sound can be a little funky.
Yeah. That was 255 carry.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Really nice.
Oh yeah.
Let me throw it in the forward weight position.
Okay. So right now the heavier was back?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's helping the ball launch in the air, maybe spin a little bit more. Off the ground is usually where that ends up being a better net result.
Yeah.
When you're starting to throw it off the tee, I think getting that weight a little bit more forward because you're trying to push it out to its target, because the tee's helping you launch it.
Yeah, I really like so far what I've seen from it. Obviously, it feels really good. And like I said, it looks a little larger, but it's definitely not like, it's still a nice round shape.
Yeah.
It's not something crazy different, you know?
I think, again, for you, you do so well with a little bit more loft. I think there's a world where we could maybe add a touch and see what happens, but let's start here first. Yeah.
Oh, that's just all over the flag.
It's really good.
That's
163.5 ball speed. There's 9 launch, 3,600 RPMs a spin. Again, that's 261 carry, 283 total.
You said 3,600 spin? God, that's perfect.
100 feet of peak height. So what I like about that is that's your DNA.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything different to get that peak height. You just get it later in its flight.
I mean, this is getting stupid.
That's really good. I think it's safe to say that you resonate better with the weight in the forward position than the back position. And I think that's more typical of players who are better at covering.
Oh yeah, I bet that makes a lot of sense. You know, something about the weight a little forward.
Yeah.
More kind of mass right in front there.
Yep. And for the players who need the opposite, we can easily wrench that away and go to the back position. It's really good. That's good miss. You got up and out of that one a little bit. Good strike though.
Oh yeah. I haven't like hit one bad this whole time.
You know, you mentioned earlier that the golf course that you play all the time, it's a little bit on the shorter side.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we play different golf courses, we travel, we do different things. This might be an option for you to think off the tee instead of a driver.
Oh yeah.
So that last shot, what do you think it carried? It was bleeding pretty hard to the right.
Maybe
your other ones were 263.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 250.
260.6.
Okay, so I didn't really lose distance.
Nothing. So I actually look at that shot as, well, it wasn't your intention. What if you had to play a cut?
Yeah, and
It was only 3,500 RPMs a spin, but it was 12 launch.
Wow. So
really interesting.
So the spin hasn't really changed like at all.
No. So the difference between your highest spin and your lowest spin is 208 RPMs.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, it is.
All right, that one will be interesting because that was a toe strike. And it's actually staying right on its line.
Okay, so 156 ball speed. You lost, you know.
I lost probably 5-6 miles an hour just by strike location because I just hit it.
What do you think it carried?
Well, you're giving me a big smile here, so I'm sure it's
Might throw you off the scent. 257.
Okay.
That's this many paces on a miss hit.
Right.
So again, you lost 7 miles an hour of ball speed.
Yeah.
And you only lost...
Because the spin probably went down, which is natural on a...
31, 36, but you were still 12 degrees of launch.
Man, this is remarkably consistent right now.
So again, going back to kind of our fitting stuff earlier with, there's no north and south dispersion. There's not a short right, there's not a long left.
Right, it's just a right and left.
And now you're thinking about, I'm trying to move my golf ball around an obstacle or over an obstacle or stopping in the fairway or chasing in the fairway, and you're still having your guaranteed cover number.
Yeah. Let's see, this is gonna be maybe a heat check here, but I'm gonna try and like hit a draw.
That's turning over pretty good into that wind.
That's exactly what I was trying to do.
Okay, so you went to 14 launch, 164 ball speed, 2,900 RPMs a spin.
Which is
277 in carry.
277?
298 total, 125 peak height.
I mean, I don't know how many more shots I need to hit here. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I'll hit one more just because it's fun.
I really like that golf swing that you just made.
Should I try it again?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know.
165.5, you brought the launch down a little bit, so spin's gonna go up.
That's on the green over there, actually. It just short.
So 9 launch, 3,500. That's 266 and some change, but it's turning over. Obviously, the one that you launched up, you had lower spin, and it carries through that wind.
Yeah.
I really like that golf swing from you.
That I do too. That was, I didn't miss like at all with this thing. And then one maybe I had was slightly open face, maybe on towards the toe, and it didn't lose anything. I lost maybe like two or three carry yards it was.
I really liked the shot shape. It just maybe wasn't what you were expecting.
Right.
And so if you play a dog leg right, you can not fear hitting into the bunker. You carry over the bunker still.
Yeah. This has, I mean,
it's really nice.
I'm legitimately kind of, I'm blown away by how easy this thing is to hit right now.
It's really good.
It's fantastic. All right, Lucas, testing complete there.
Yeah.
The GT1 3TOUR 3 Wood. I think the viewers that know me and my golf swing are they're gonna understand that was like one of those unconscious set of swings for me.
Gotcha.
I haven't really done that before. But again, obviously a lot of that is due to this golf club and the way it's set up, the way I was able to, shape my shot on command there, take the draw. So, what was your reaction? Your feedback on that, and then obviously we'll talk about the player that this will be for too.
I think the big thing first is always trying to figure out what configuration it needs to be in to work best with our player. So you as a golfer are really good at covering the golf ball and hitting down on it and really getting your ball to fly out and then up. So you don't have a ton of launch, but you have good balance of launch and spin. So we started in the back weight position and it just got it wasn't great.
Yeah.
You didn't hit it perfect. So
it wasn't bad though. Like,
no.
It was still solid, but I know you as a fitter.
Something looked off.
Yeah.
So we changed it to the forward position, and the first two were just on a rope, same exact shot. And so it was very clear that the weight being in the more forward position resonated really well with you as a golfer. So we didn't do much with SureFit because you were hitting it so well.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the really cool parts is, and I love this about fitting, is when you get those first two shots to really do something positive, player goes, okay, I'm going to heat check this one.
Right.
I want to try something that I haven't been able to do in a while because I wasn't getting the right feedback. You did that, and you carried it 275.
Right. Yeah, that was
nice high draw. So you were hitting both left to right, right to left, and so as a T-ball replacement club, I think it was an extremely valuable tool. If you wanted to put it in the bag. Yeah,
this is definitely. I mean, it was to see. I mean, the confidence I just have with this right now is off the charts. And as you talked about, there's a SureFit hosel as well as the weight adjustments on this thing. So there's all those capabilities with it.
Yep.
This is going to be a really, really good club for Titleist, I think. In addition to obviously all the other GT Fairway Woods that are in the lineup, plus the GT280 you mentioned earlier. This fits right in like a glove. I think it's going to be awesome.
That's great. Glad you like it.
Yeah. Thanks for helping me out with that.
You're very welcome.
I mean, the back weighting and all those.
I feel like I just changed the weight and you just swung. So it was great.
Well, golfers, GT1 3TOUR 3 Wood. I mean, I can't endorse it much more than what you just saw in terms of my shots. So go get fit for it, schedule a fitting, and help your game and shoot lower scores with this thing. Thanks again, Lucas.
Thanks for hitting it.